Right now, while you're watching this video, your brain is physically changing shape. Not metaphorically, physically. New connections are forming, old ones are dissolving. The brain you have at the end of this video will be in a tiny but real way different from the one you started. For most of history, scientists believed the adult brain was fixed, that whatever wiring you had at the adulthood was permanent. That turned out to be completely wrong. Your brain is rewiring itself constantly, and once you understand how it actually works, you can start doing it on purpose. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't a fixed piece of hardware. It's more like a landscape that reshapes itself based on what you do, think, and repeat. Every thought, every skill, every habit is a physical pathway made of neurons. And here's the part that matters. The more that pathway gets used, the stronger and faster it becomes. So once you stop using, they fade. This is not just theory. London taxi drivers have to memorize thousands of streets to pass a notorious brutal test, and brain scan shows that hippocampus, the part of brain that ties to spatial memory, is physically larger than average by the time they are done training. Not figuratively, but measurably larger. Stroke patients who lose functionality in one part of the brain can sometimes regain it, not because that damaged area heals, but because other parts of the brain physically rewire to take over the job. Your brain is not the same organ at 40 that it was at 20. It's been rebuilding itself the entire time based on exactly what you feed it. But here's the part that's a little unsettling though. This process doesn't care whether the pathway is good for you or not. Chronic stress physically enlarges the part of the brain responsible for fear and threat responses, making you more reactive over time, not less. Repeated negative thinking carves that thought pattern deeper, making it easier, not harder, to fall into next time. Your brain doesn't rewire towards what's healthy, it rewires towards what's repeated, which means the real question isn't whether your brain is going to change, it's what you are going to repeat. Okay, so now let's get started with how you can use neuroplasticity to train your brain. The first thing that you need to keep in mind is repetition with attention, not just repetition. Okay, so you have driven the same route home 1,000 times, right? Can you actually remember yesterday's drive, like specifically? Probably not. Your brain basically checked out and ran it on autopilot. Now think back to the first time you tried parallel parking. You were locked in, every mirror, every inch, full focus. That second one builds skill fast. The first one basically builds nothing, no matter how many times you do it. So doing something 100 times while half paying attention barely moves the needle. Doing it 20 times while you are actually logged in, that's the version that rewires anything. So the second thing is spaced practice beats cramming. You know that thing where you do one massive language app session like 3 hours on a Sunday? Feels amazing, super productive. And by Wednesday, you can't even remember half the words. But if you just take 10 minutes a day instead, you will actually start remembering stuff without even trying. Same total time either way, completely different results. The actual building does not happen while you are doing the lesson. It happens in the gaps in between. Your brain needs that space to lock it in. Skip the gaps and you are just skipping the part where any of it actually sticks. So, 10 minutes a day beats one massive session every time. So the third thing is emotional intensity speeds everything up. Okay, here's a weird one. You have zero idea what you ate for breakfast last Tuesday. None. Gone. But you remember exactly where you were standing when you found out about a breakup, or that job offer, or that phone call you didn't want to get. Same brain, same memory system, so why does one stick and the other does not? Because your brain treats emotional movement like they are important and everything else like it's disposable. So here's how you actually use that. Say you're trying to get better at public speaking. You could sit alone in a room reading your notes out loud to nobody. Technically, that's practice, barely does anything though. Or you get three friends in a room and actually present to them. Nervous, heart racing, real stack. That version sticks 10 times faster. Not because you said the words more time, but because you actually felt something while you said them. So, when you are trying to learn something, stop trying to just memorize it. Make it matter, even a little. Your brain will do the rest. So the last thing that you need to know is sleep is when it's actually lock-in. This is where people mess up. You learn something new, you are bad at it the first day, totally normal. Then the next day, without practicing again, you are just better at it. That's not random, that's sleep, doing the actual work overnight. While you are asleep, your brain replays what you practiced and physically strengthens those exact connections. It's like your brain quietly finishes the job while you are doing nothing at all. So if you pull an all-nighter cramming something, You basically skip the save button. All that effort and none of it actually got stored. So here's the actual point of all this. You're not stuck being who you have always been. Not your habits, not the way you react to things, not the thoughts that keep looping in your head. Your brain's been rewiring itself this whole time. You just weren't the one steering it. And that's actually good news because it means change isn't some vague, hopeless idea. It's not about hoping you magically become more disciplined one day. It's a physical process. Repetition, spacing, emotion, sleep. That's the actual mechanism. That's not motivation talk. That's just how the organ works. And if there's something about yourself you have been trying to change, you're not fighting your own nature. You are just one deliberate, repetitive drop away from becoming someone slightly different. And then another one, and then another. That's genuinely all this ever was.